Hey everyone, Ape Century here, back with another Survivor review. This week we're talking about Survivor 50, Episode 3. So let's get into this. So, the big thing in this episode was we first start off that each tribe gets tree mail, and they have some ideas about what they think is going to happen. Ultimately, it ends up being a tribe swap. And this was one of the things that the fans could have voted on. They did vote on it. So they want chaos. They want to shake up the game. I don't even think this is going to be the end of the tribe swaps. I think there'll be probably another one. But so they all get to the mat, and Jeff does this rap song, if you will, and he has the players snapping, and which I thought was all kind of cringe. But if some people like it, that's great. Let me know if you do. I think a lot of players and people and fans at this point think that the season's kind of going way over the top already, and not only in terms of uh, advantages and other things, all the incorporations that they're adding in, they're really trying to make this, seem not that it's not big, it is big, but they're doing things that are deviations from what would normally be Survivor, old school. And I think a lot of people just want to see it go back to basics, old school, maybe in the future, but anyway, I thought it was what Jeff was doing at the meetup was kind of a little cringe. Anyway, so we get to the swap, and before they draw their new buffs, Christian leans into Emily's ear and says, "Hey, we didn't get a chance to tell you, but Aubrey has an idol, and that's all I can really tell you at this point." And Emily was saying, "Huh? What?" She was really confused why she wasn't told beforehand. She was thinking, if we're really, an alliance, why am I now just hearing this? So she was kind of bothered by it. And so we get the new tribes. So that's 21 players, 7 on each tribe. And after that, we start to know a little bit more about each tribe. And so we get to the Kahlo tribe, and Chrissy tells a little bit about her story and what she had to go through. Ultimately, the big thing that happened to her in this episode was Coach was telling her that in their previous tribe that she was kind of talking a lot, and other players were not happy with that. And she probably would have been the next vote. So she starts breaking down and crying, and she wants to tell her other tribe mates, a couple of the girls that she's close to. And, it's just interesting to see her story and what she had to go through. And I don't think she was talking too much. I think that's Survivor. I mean, at least from her side. Like, I think some people do talk a lot. Uh, like Genevieve in this episode was talking to everybody about everything. But I don't think Chrissy was. So and why Coach said it in that tone, I don't know. I think he could have said it better if she was. I think she wants to work with him. I don't think he necessarily wants to work with her, is my hypothesis on that. Vatu tribe. And it was interesting how all the David Goliath members were on the same tribe, right? How basically Mike, Christian, Angelina randomly all got on the same tribe, which is interesting. There's about an 8% chance that that could have happened and like a 92% chance that it couldn't have happened, but it did happen. And so they're definitely tight. They're going to be an alliance. And Emily happens to be on that tribe. So Emily And Christian, remember they had that an exchange on the mat, right? During the swap. Well, she goes and starts talking to everybody what Christian told her, what he whispered in her ear. And she's saying, oh, yeah, I just found out that Aubrey has an idol. And so what was going on at your guys' camp, Q, and basically Stephanie, that, yeah, she had an idol. And she's just telling him this. She doesn't even confirm with Christian. She doesn't talk about it beforehand. She just goes talking to everybody. Then she tells Angelina, and then she goes to Christian finally, and it's like, yeah, hey, bad news. I just told everyone what you told me privately, and I'm really sorry. I made a mistake. And so it's just like, what are you doing? So that wasn't great. Somehow, some way, she was able to get out of it, and was kind of like the swing vote here with the 3 DVG members, and then Q, Stephanie, and Ozzy, and she was kind of the swing vote there. But it wasn't good. I don't know why she did it. I really couldn't tell you. So then we get back to the Kahlo tribe with Genevieve and Aubrey, and it seems like they're continuing to have this beef, that they could possibly be targeting one another. It's probably that they just don't mesh well, or something. And what's interesting is, this was an interesting dynamic, right? Because Aubrey has an idol, Genevieve doesn't. Genevieve is telling everybody, I'm going for Aubrey. Aubrey knows about it. She could easily get out of it if she wanted to, if they go to a tribal council. Genevieve, again, does not have an idol, but she found one and had to give it away. Aubrey did not find one, but got one. So it's just interesting how that works. And Genevieve doesn't know Aubrey has one. Remember, she looked in her bag and couldn't find one. So she thinks that, in my guess, if they went to a tribal council, I would guess Genevieve's in trouble. And then we get to this, the Rizzo and Charlie situation from the Sela tribe. So they're talking about who Rizzo voted for in his season, how that played out. They're talking about what happened with Charlie in his season, 46, and Maria. And all of this is to say that now Charlie doesn't trust Rizzo. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little, it's not really game-wise. It's like, they're the 2 youngest guys out there. They happen to be on the same tribe. I would have thought they would have clicked more than they are. But Charlie said if they go to tribal, he's going to try to get them out. And then we see this quick exchange where Dee and Jonathan could be targeting Cirie, because they're thinking, we can't let her get far into the game. They don't know she has an extra vote, which she does. And so I don't like Charlie at all. I mean, he just bothers me. He sort of, he just, his energy, I just don't like him at all. And then we get to the immunity challenge, which is a blindfold calling challenge. So Camilla, Christian, and Chrissy are going to be the callers. And eventually they have to solve the puzzle as well. And so what happens is Christian tribes lose, which is the Vatu tribe. So Christian was in the hot seat and couldn't get it done. Sometimes that's just, I don't know if he's been in that position before or not, but I would say that the Camilla and Chrissy are so far proving themselves to be good in puzzles, especially Camilla. And what's interesting is we want to, sort of think that Christian's the one that's good at puzzles, which he is. You know, he has like a slide puzzle thing going, but so far he hasn't. Okay, so Vatu is going to go to tribal council. They're going to think about who to vote off, and they're thinking about Stephanie. They're thinking about Q, and then the other side's going to target Angelina. She doesn't contribute around camp. She's not that good in challenges. She's actually a way different player than she was before, and so they're going to target her. And Ozzy really wants to get out Angelina. I think Stephanie's like, wherever, I just want to survive. Q doesn't have a vote, but he and Mike have this conversation, right? He says, I really want to protect Stephanie. Well, he doesn't say that, but he's thinking it. He's like, okay, Mike, just vote me. And he's thinking himself, if Mike throws a vote on me, and then the other two David Goliaths vote Stephanie, and then Emily, Ozzy, Stephanie vote Angelina, Angelina's gone. Well, little did they know that Stephanie was never the plan, right? Q didn't know that. Q was the plan. Q was going home. So Q telling Mike that to vote him wasn't a good decision because he already was going to vote him, and all the other people were going to vote Q, and Q doesn't have a vote, so he's going home, which was what happened. Not only that, I mean, he said he had an extra vote, which he didn't. He was trying to tell Mike, yeah, by the way, I have an extra vote. Why didn't he just say, I also have an idol, and I may play it? That actually adds some leverage and could have possibly saved himself, I think. But he didn't say that. He just said he had an advantage of an extra vote. And I guess he was thinking, well, we have 4, we have the numbers. But Emily and Ozzy ended up not voting for Angelina. They voted for Q. Q went home. The only one who got a vote for Angelina was Stephanie. Stephanie did vote Angelina. Didn't vote Q. So we lose Q. And there's that. And trying to think if anything else happened major in this episode. Yeah, not really. I think just the tribe swap and the new dynamics and, you know, Q going home. I will say that the one thing, again, that I'm questioning, right, is there are now 20 players remaining. It's going to be day 9 when they get to their next probably immunity challenge. There's only 26 days. Like, I don't know. 20 players. We're now just starting a new game. Day 9, 4th episode, real time. How the heck are they going to eliminate so many people in so little of time? So I would have thought like double vote outs, maybe when they start getting the merge, or maybe the next episode. We'll really have to see. I don't know. But all in all, I thought it was a good episode. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like and subscribe to help grow the channel, and we'll catch you next time.